It's a fluid exchange. The fluid that's pumping out of that pump goes into the waste tank. New fluid gets sucked in by the pump. So you're just replacing old with new.
I bet when I land, they gon' tell me it's luck again. See that I'm winning, it's harder to watch. I'm setting the stage, you should give me my props. You ain't got no soul, you lacking the spirit. You talk out your neck, I'ma show you I'm with it. I would really hate for you to sit and watch me win again and win again and win again. I know it's probably getting on me and win a synonym. So if I ever win again, it's nobody the minimum.
We're doing a coolant service. This is pretty a coolant exchange. I don't use any additives, it's straight in for maintenance. We're going back with Mopar purple coolant, and it's got an 8-speed transmission. Going back with, we use liquid moly, correct specifications for it. All right, so we're hooked up. Start it. I'll make sure we're not leaking. If I say turn it off as fast as you can.
You all right?
I got it right here. And you already just hooked up already, so you can check your temperature?
I've got it hooked up under here.
Okay. Did you already log into it?
No, I just hooked the...
Okay. Now go ahead, turn it on. All right, looks good. Come on out. Leave it running. No, leave it running.
Okay.
Do his tire pressure for him.
What's that?
Do his tire. Do his tire pressure for me on that. All right, let's get in this here. What do we have, a Dodge?
Yes, we do.
So we'll need this for two different things. We'll need it for the temperature for the coolant exchange, then we'll need it for the transmission to set the level.
Okay.
So we'll go with the transmission first because that's going to be done. I don't use any additives as far as flush additives. It's straight fluid exchange. So you can kind of see what the fluid looks like. It's already like it's a clear yellow fluid, and it's a dark, almost like a blackish color. So the misconception is people will call us a flush. It's not a flush because if it's a flush, if you add a chemical to it for cleaning, we're not doing that unless the customer asks it. I don't do it. It's a fluid exchange. The fluid that's pumping out of that pump goes into the waste tank. New fluid gets sucked in by the pump. So you're just replacing old with new. Dave is a new tech. He's fresh out of Oklahoma Technical College, so he's getting some training here. And not new conditioner, hit X. It's going to tell you 10 quarts, no cleaner, no additive.
We're good.
And then it's going to start doing it for you.
Okay.
And then you watch it.
Okay.
So, and here's your fluid temperature. So when we're done, there's a plug on there, which I'll show you, okay? I'm going to drop that. Did you put some in that Volvo already?
No, not yet.
Here you go. Volvo and this. Huh? Hey, put that cap back on that transmission fluid. See how clean that is now?
Yeah, I just looked at it.
That's the color it's supposed to look like.
I have a question.
Yeah.
The other one we did the other day, we did both of these at the same time.
Well, this one's got a D-gas, so you can't do that on that.
Okay.
It has to have
Because
coolant
we went
coming.
through the radiator last time.
Well, it allows you to put the coolant back out, the bypass valve. This one doesn't have that on this one. So jump in there, put it in gear for about 5 seconds, put it in reverse for 5 seconds, and put it back in park.
Drive for 5 and reverse for 5.
Yeah. And we're going to check the level.
Okay.
Because you know when I had that bypass, it's bypassing the coolant. This one doesn't have it, so you would have no coolant returning back to the tank. It would overheat really fast.
Right.
All right, raise it up, we'll check the level. Leave it running. So right here, take off this plug. That's your level. Okay.
Right here?
Yep.
Okay.
And let it. You want it to come out of there until it's really slow drip.
Right.
It's like a real slow stream. Hey, you got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Go ahead. I got it. Okay. You have a valve on your name. Put it in on your air filter, battery, which I have that in stock. The battery's over there, and so's the air filter. Do those real fast.
Take it in the office.
I think it's in the car. Ask Nick. He had it. All right, so we're gonna tie this back up. You clean it up, and we'll.
Yes.
All right, there you go. She's good.
Okay.
All right, wash it down.
Yeah,
All right, so this is done. I'm gonna turn it off. Okay. Don't unhook the hoses now. You'll make a big mess. We'll wait. Let's bring her down. We gotta turn the vehicle off. Okay. All right, go ahead and turn her off. All right. Yeah, just take your hoses off, plug them in that port right there on the side of it.
Yeah.
Take it over to the waste tank
Okay.
and set it over there for now. Then
Okay.
we'll take these off. We gotta put these fittings back on transmission. Okay.
Please don't play no games with me. It was never about the fame to me. They needed the best, so they came to me. Who the best in this thing? Tell them, yeah, that's me. Tell them who bring the vibe, say, yeah, that's me. Who make it flip, make it bang, ooh, yeah, that's me. Who make the party feel alive, tell them, yeah, that's me. My girl so proud, they get boy when they ask, is that your man? Yeah, that's me. And if I'm taking a shot, I don't miss. Who knew I would be at the top like this? And no one made my goals for me. But I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Cause it's the path that God chose for me. So even if some doors close for me, I still won't let y'all close to me. So please
Go ahead and hook up the battery to it. We have to drain this.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. I gotta go help out a customer, so.
Okay.
All right, so we gotta go to new tank, right?
Yes, this has to face that way.
Where are you at temperature-wise? Only we care. We want to know what the temperature of the coolant is, okay? Customize. It'll take a little bit. So you're done, we'll have to wash this out with some water, okay?
Yes, sir.
Get that. Deselect all. Look for engine coolant temperature. All right. As long as that thermostat's open, which we can, it's open. All right. So we're gonna hit add, hold this, hit add. It's gonna pump fluid into that. Okay. This fluid here is gonna go. It's gonna go in this waste tank.
Right, coming from here.
Yep. You should see it right here.
Yep.
See it? So the old coolant's going into the old tank
Yes.
right there. So.
Perfect.
And the sucking in new coolant we put,
Right.
which the Mopar. So.
Sucking it into here and out through there.
Yep. You're gonna notice your coolant's gonna drop because of that.
Right, because we're putting.
It's cooling it off.
Right, right.
Hot coolant's going out, new cool, fresh
Right,
cold
exactly.
coolant's in. So you can see how it's dropping.
Yeah.
So we'll watch this here.
Yeah, until it's
Figure
just-
out.
We don't want to suck it dry.
It's okay on this. You just don't want to go above. You don't want to go above the max.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I try to save a little bit. So when I'm done, I'll finish it filling up. I'll disconnect this.
Disconnect and hook it back and then add it if I need to through here.
Yeah, I'll hold up my finger. You'll see. All right, I'm gonna be back. Okay.
Yes, sir.
It's Neil. Hey, buddy. Hey, that fuel gauge, that motor for it, just bouncing real bad on it. Sounds good. Thank you, sir. You bye. Yeah, keep going. You're going to use all that.
Can you see the line?
Mm-hmm. Looks good. I'll put a little more because you have it on the cold fill and it's on. It's gonna cool down and it's gonna
Suck some in.
Well, when it's hot, it expands, right?
Right.
So we'll check it. Put a timer on your phone for 2 hours.
2 hours?
Yeah, and we'll check it.
Okay.
All right, this is all done, right? Just need stickers and wiped
Just
off.
need stickers wiped off and water ran.
Okay, and it need to be driven around the block. Make sure the transmission shift's good, right?
Yes, sir.
And check for codes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, let's get it out of here.
Okay.
Did you check off all your stuff?
Except for the.
Yeah, mark off everything that you're responsible for, okay? If everything's done, then you can ship it.
That's it.
Meet me outside to the hose. I'll meet you at the water hose.
All right, everybody.
Just leave the hood open up. When you're checking coolant, always leave the hood open. That means we're not done with it. But you
Okay.
can put it out there for the girls to put stickers in it.
Yes, sir.
That makes sense?
Yes, it does.
And you'll hit complete work on the coolant one when it's
Okay.
filled,
After we
after
check
2
the
hours.
2
Yeah.
hours.
Because you don't want this thing to go
Right.
before then. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
All right, good job, brother.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Intake manhole runner.
That's this one, right?
Oh, this one right there.
Is that all?
These?
Or the actual bushings?
And the bushings are broke on them.
Yeah.
Are those wrong?
Oh, this is what they came up as. So you must. They
Can
not.
you try the bushings, see if the bushings work maybe? Because the bushings are torn, the bolt's not broke or anything.
No, what is it? What does we got? Oh, is that what you need? So these are it. Yeah, that's what I was asking if these are it. Okay. So these are it. He should have said yes. Nick, you should have said yes, right? Yeah. Now you got us confused.
I mean,
He's confused. I'm confused. We're all confused.
my question when I was looking at it is because I seen bushings on it, I didn't see sway bar.
Yeah, that's why I was asking.
And
This
I
the
was
right?
like, are we doing?
Did you take
these?
pictures
'Cause
of
I seen
those?
These were broke.
Okay.
I seen these were broke.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are we doing these and those? Because I know it needs these.
Oh, okay. So the end, it should be the end links. Okay, I need to change it. Okay, all right. That's what happened. Okay. That's what happened. End links are bad on it. Hey, Kevin. Put a second coat on that.
This is a 2004 Corvette. We're doing a whole bunch of work to it. Doing the steering rack because the worm gear seals are leaking everywhere. It's got a pretty good leak from the rear main seal. So the kicker is he's also got a fuel leak at the fuel tank at the transfer pump. So to do that, you have to pull the transmission and everything out. So while we're doing that, we're going to remove the torque tube, do the rear main seal, reseal that, do the steering rack. We're installing an ATI balancer for the guy. Super nice part. Those are high dollar for sure. Doing some maintenance and dry belts. We had to get the ABS modulator rebuilt. I think it had a C1245. I forget the description of that code, but yeah, he's dumping some money into it. So, and obviously along the way, you see anything else, let the guy know. But he's doing the whole shebang pretty much. So I'm excited to work on it. This will be my weekend project. So yeah, oh yeah, always busy on the weekends, but yeah. I'll have to restrap it down. We're about to move some weight out of it, so it's always good to strap these Corvettes down. I've seen hundreds of videos of guys dropping Corvettes off lifts, so yeah, it happens a lot. So they're very very tilty. Looks like plugs, wires, yeah, everything really. So I love guys that drive Corvettes like this, that do the work you recommend. It's unbeatable. It's great. You guys need Corvettes worked on, you let me know. And then got a camshaft I'm doing on that. I'm almost done with that one. So just got to put the intake on it and do the wiring and put the radiator and stuff back in. So yeah, he flattened the exhaust lobe on number 7, I believe, on that one. So pull the cam out of it, pull the heads off, pull the lifters out. But it's going back together. I'm just doing the water pump now, so.
How long was this job?
14, 15 hours, something like that. Not a cheap job, not a cheap one, and the part, you know, isn't super cheap either. So, but should be good after we're done with it. Those are my 2 projects I have going on right now. That's pretty much it.
That's how I get it. Success ain't no given. Some days I don't hit, I don't slay. When I'm focused, I'm dangerous. They don't want it when I'm anxious. Ain't no limit till I tank. I'm running on fumes. The opposition don't amaze. The roads racing through the pavement. Get your hands out of my bag. I know that's because I've been in it. I don't need to brag. I guess that's what happens when you taking care of your business. But some family, you do the math. I'm out of my pocket. Houston, we got a problem. I ain't perfect. Let them watch me elevating. Got them nauseous. Cause I'm the pilot in the cockpit. Nose diving in the house. And woo. Watch how I get ahead. Watch how I get ahead. Watch how I get ahead. Woo.
All right, so what we got going on in this car here, this is a 2012 Buick Enclave, and it's a 3.6 liter V6. It's in a lot of GM vehicles. Equinox is also another one that's in. The complaint is it's having a hard time starting after refueling. So every time they go to the gas station, they put gas in it, it just cranks and cranks and cranks, and it stumbles and runs rough. Real common problem. It's called an Evap Purge valve, and this is what it looks like on this model. It's the same thing. Basically, you have intake on one port, and then the other port, it goes to the vapor side of the charcoal canister, where the excess vapor flows through to a canister. It captures it in there, and the engine sucks it in through vacuum and burns it through the intake manifold. Okay, so the vapors are not just going to the atmosphere. So on this vehicle, this is really easy to get to. It's right here. Like I said, it's an Evap Purge canister valve. They call them Purge valve, canister valve. Several different names for them. But like I said, it's an emission parts. And it's a pretty easy test. So it's all it takes is power ground to operate this. And they use it as a frequency. When I mean it's on for a certain percentage. So it's really ever on 100% where the valve's open all the way. So when the valves close, like now, you can't blow through it. It's closed. There's no vacuum getting through, so the fumes from the gas tank cannot be entered into the intake. What happens is, over time, that valve will move back and forth, and the fumes, the vapors, it's dirty. You know, gasoline is not very clean. It gets carbon buildup in there, okay? And that buildup of carbon will stick that valve. And there's a spring in there. It's supposed to, when you turn this on, the spring gets pushed back. The electromagnetic forces of the energizer of the solenoid pushes the spring back. And when you turn off the solenoid, that spring forces the valve shut again, okay? So it's constantly doing that. Well, over time, it gets built up a debris in there from the vapors, and that spring gets kind of dirty, and that valve gets dirty, so that spring can never shut the valve, so it's stuck open. When it sticks open, there's vacuum all the time going through this chamber here, which is constantly pulling the vapors out of the charcoal canister. So when you refuel, all that flood of fumes is going through the tank up to the vent, to the charcoal canister where it houses the fumes, and it follows that line and it ends up right here. Well, since this valve is stuck open, it's rushing into the intake manifold. So it's flooding the intake with fuel. Remember, a car doesn't run off liquid fuel, it runs off vapors. It vaporizes the fuel into the cylinder, and then it fires. You don't want liquid gas going in there, okay? It's got to atomize. The injector's job is to atomize the fuel into the cylinder. So if you have straight vapors, it's going to ignite very, very fast. That's why vapors are extremely dangerous. So that's what's going on. A quick, easy test is if I unplug this 2-wire solenoid here, there's nothing allowing this valve to open, right? It should be in the closed position because there's a spring pushing on a pintle and closing and sealing it from anything getting in here. So if I take off this hose, there should be no vacuum, right? If this is closed, no vacuum should be able to go through this chamber out here, this port. But this one, you're gonna see, we're gonna unplug the electrical connector on it. Okay, I'm gonna unplug the vapor hose. There should be no vacuum, but we're gonna have a vacuum there. Let me start it up. Yep. I'm gonna go pick it up. Let me get a glove. See how it's sucking the glove? There's vacuum through here, and sometimes you can hit them, they'll get unstuck, but this one's stuck pretty good. So regardless, even if they're sticking at all, you need to replace it. Over time, it builds up debris from that fumes, and it sticks in there. So, but yeah, that's what's going on. So if you have a vehicle and it only runs rough after you refuel, and if you actually have a purge flow fault code, take a look at this. This is what you want to take a look at. It's a pretty inexpensive valve for this make and model. Bosch is the original manufacturer of this valve also, so FYI. And this one's very simple to replace, not much labor. Some vehicles require disassembly of multiple things to get access to it, so labor will be a little more, and the valve itself could be a little more expensive. But very common failure because the harsh environment it's in, because of the gas vapors, which is not super clean, causes buildup. The spring can no longer override the valve that's stuck. There's a valve that it moves back and forth, and if it gets cockeyed or gets stuck, the spring itself that's supposed to close it, it's just not able to. And that's what's going on with it. So. Hey, Nick. Sound like alternator to you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Alternator? Oh yeah. See how all that rust coming out of it?
Yeah, the bearings making noise.
Yeah, it's a dead giveaway. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but anytime you have this orange color, you have a bearing coming apart or a joint or something, makes it very hard on the drive belt. Dead giveaway that there's an issue with the bearing inside that pulley. Look at the belt. Yeah, we need a belt. Okay. We'll deal with that real fast.
On the
O2s?
The O2s look, the downstreams look probably OE, but the upstreams are aftermarket.
That's the OE, this is the downstream one. Did you do a connector like I told you?
I did. I
pulled
cleaned
off.
them dielectric.
Any water in there?
They're clean.
No signs of water, moisture, nothing?
No, they look perfect.
And they're both OE?
The downstreams all.
They look Denso, or there's
yeah, they look Denso probably.
nobody's touched them?
No one's touched them, but the upstream someone's them, so.
Okay, so it's the downstream's one that he's having trouble with.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. Just hang on to it here for now until I get an answer from him, okay? It's a 13 Volkswagen Passat TDI 2.0 diesel motor, and the concern is it's got a flashing low oil pressure light on the dash. It's just flashing on and off, and it'll stay on. It'll tell you to shut the vehicle off immediately because of low oil pressure. What we found was the oil filter, which is the correct one, but it was installed improperly. There's actually it'll say top on the filter. Filter's supposed to be up top. They had it flipped the other direction. So therefore, when we did a mechanical oil pressure test, it had 5 PSI. So we took a look at the filter, confirmed it was installed wrong. But I can show you what it says. It should say top on it. So obviously that goes up for the top. They had it flop the other way. It also has the DEF warning light, where he ran out of DEF, and it gave him like 5 kilometers before it would shut the vehicle off. And it had an issue with the NOx sensor, so we replaced NOx sensor, performed the it's like a regeneration for the filter, particular filter, it passed all that, and then the light went off the dash. So besides that, it's doing some services, control arms, belt, filters, stuff like that. So that one will be completed. Nick's is doing a service on a Mercedes, on 2 of them actually. Bradley's working on an Ultima where it's got no power to the dash at all. David's doing a heater core, and Kevin's doing an engine.
Body shop with the hooligans throwing on, I watch them fall in unison. Back of ass in my whole savings in the lid back. I was checking the balance, and negative sign next to that amount sent me back further. I welcome the challenge. Wake up calls came in abundance. My lifestyle stuck on do not disturb. I hit a married woman while a man was locked up. I was doing the worst, but now my ducks in a row. Yeah, felt like life had it out for me. I became one with the smoke. I was in the mud sinking till my hand broke the surface. Once I grabbed what I could, I came out a whole different person. Now I'm going off, they going off the map. All the mistakes they making I made, I could've taught you that. I gotta wash my back. They'll pull you down soon as you reach out. I cannot offer a hand. Now the new view, look to the hills. I made it shake, no handshaking deals. Navigated the unknown with all the bros, trusting my gut. It told me no second guess it if it feels right. Keep going, you know you're the one. I shared a room with Cheeks at the start of the journey, was bringing in 30K. Now, hey, yeah, can't nothing stop the run. What else? I seen a lot of people try hard, but they ain't try long enough. Both the down, how I'm closing the gate, doors unlocked.
Bradley's got it fixed. See what he found. What'd you find? Brake switch?
Has to do with that key.
Did you hit it with a key? Oh, the keys, the battery's bad in it? Okay.
Well, no, it's in the
You put it in a spot. Okay, so that he's gonna need a key.
key in the slot.
Okay. That's interesting because this key, which, go ahead. If you hit on it, go ahead. Well, how do you have power now? We didn't have power before.
I just saw that key slot. And was like,
Yeah,
oh,
that's interesting. Before you had, that wasn't the same symptom. Is the key working now?
Sounds like it.
Yeah. So something must got a signal back. Something must have woke up. That's interesting. So we have now the key works. Did you do anything?
The only thing I did was stick it in the slot.
I wonder if a module annoyed didn't wake up. That's very strange.
Yeah.
So we had no power at all, and the key wouldn't respond. We checked the battery, it was good. And he throws it in a spot where if the key doesn't read, it should start. Well,
Without it.
everything's working now, so that's a mystery. You don't think it had anything to do with that wire you were doing some testing on? Did you test it after that?
I have not yet. No.
Maybe that
It's
was,
still hooked up.
maybe that's what it was. We were confirming that when you hit that switch, it sends power to 2 things, IPDM and then the actual ECM, so pretty much a start signal. He confirmed it had the ground there, so we were actually going to go to the cluster next.
Wire when I started, see if there's any.
Yeah, good. Yeah, it's working.
Now it's not starting.
It's not? Okay. Key no.
Key's working.
Key works. Maybe because I had the key
Key's out.
out of the car. But what does it do? It should light up the dash. Yeah, so we didn't have all that. That's not the same symptoms. We had nothing. The dash was completely black except for security light flashing. Just hit the button, no brake pedal. Let's see if the security light comes on. Yeah, we're getting everything. See, that's strange. I wonder if it was like security was set and this reset it from doing that. There's just so many things that may have, I don't know, it's frustrating because it's working now. I'm assuming the security, let's try that. If the security, open the door while this thing's locked, see what happens. Go ahead and open it. It's set, the security, that's what we had last time right there. Try to use the key. See, that security light's what we had last time. Ah, so that is the issue. All right, so that's interesting. It's not starting now, is it?
Yeah, you have the key in there.
I know, but this is the same sense we had just now.
Yeah.
Ah, interesting. This is simple. So this it has something to do with the security. It should work now. Okay. Get that off again.
Yeah, the key fob's working.
Now try it. So it had something to do with this key fob. How'd you start it there?
I just held it.
Okay. Go ahead. You know, I took it apart the second time. I never tested it after that. I wonder if I fixed it by messing with it, because that's the exact symptoms we had.
Yeah, it just...
Push on, no brake pedal. Okay. Now step on the brake pedal. It's got to see the brake input. So it's something to do with this key fob. Go ahead. Do it again. I'm gonna try to set it again. Okay, try to start it. Okay. How'd you do that time?
I just pressed it. It just took it a second.
Okay. This key fob's having problems. Try it. Yeah, it just takes 2 starts to do it. I think the key fobs, he's gonna need an extra key fob. That's his whole problem.
Yeah.
You agree?
I agree.
Because it was in security and we
whole
couldn't get
time.
out of it
Yeah.
because the key fob wasn't responding. So
I just shoved it in that slot for the key and
Okay.
it literally fired right
I
up.
put everything back together. I mean, it is what it is at that point. So sometimes that happens. Just wish. So it looks like this key fob's having an issue internally. So we'll put it back together. That's why you don't change parts. You test it. And everything we tested was passing. Like, what's going on here? You got any problems, David?
No, I've got the heater coil in hook now.
Okay, that was okay. No, you gotta put those plastic things back in.
Yeah,
okay?
I got them. Yeah, I know. The clips.
Okay, yep.
Yes, sir. I figured out.
You shouldn't have to do the AC stuff.
I was hoping not, but it doesn't look like they want that core wants to pop out. There we go.
Okay.
Back a little more. But I was still fixing to check it.
Oh, it's that rubber piece on there. Can this go back further at all?
He doesn't want to, but I haven't messed
Forced
with it
it.
too much. I just now got Kevin to pull the line while I pinched the.
Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, it needs to go back a little bit more, doesn't it? I think what's stopping is this.
I think that bottom piece on bottom.
Yeah, that thing's.
Plastic piece on
I think if
bottom.
you get that out of your way, you would have enough room to move it.
I think so.
You just got to pull up this part there. It's a pain in the butt. You gotta get this out of here. There should be some bolts. You have to undo the bolts usually on these. Oh. You gotta pull them off. That's probably best I do. Put it like that. I'm not sure what's going on here. Can this go back?
Should be able to a little bit down.
Is it still bolted into something?
No.
Yeah, just undo those AC lines, I guess.
I haven't taken them off yet.
Oh, those lines will go through if you take those locks off. The lock's pushing against the thing. Push it back.
Okay.
That's why the line's not going through. Lift up on the case a little bit because your studs on it. Lift up and push toward me. There you go. Push toward me. Okay. Yeah, if you take off those spring clamps, they should be enough room in those hoses so you can go forward with it. Yeah, you're good. You're back in. Does he know what it's going to cost? Or did he tell you?
Yeah, I
No, the freight.
oh, the freight. No, he didn't tell me.
I'll have to
I can
add
call
it to
him.
it. Nah, that's fine. We can be here tomorrow. I'll just add to it. I mean, if it doesn't show up tomorrow, don't be concerned, because that happens a lot. We overnight stuff and they don't show up, so that's a possibility. You know, you overnight it because you're relying on the company to do your job. So that's an iffy thing. So we'll see what time it comes in. Usually overnights come in early, so there's always a possibility that we didn't get it. And we hear that a lot. That's why I'm telling you, we hear it a lot. We overnight it, and then it shows up the next day after that. So. This is Arn Automotive, Neil. Hey, buddy, just to let you know, hey, what we found on this Nissan is that key fob is having issues. So we messed with it, confirmed it didn't look good. We put that key fob in that slot on that dash, and everything came alive, and it started working ever since then. So there's a spot on that dash where if the battery fails, you can slide it in there and it will read the chip. I think there's an issue going on that chip. I took it apart, looked at it a little bit, put it back together, and she's been doing fine ever since. But that's kind of what we came up with, is I would definitely get a spare key fob just in case on this car. Yeah, you're welcome, brother. No problem at all. She's ready for you, okay? All right, thank you. Bye-bye. Can't miss those, can he? Mike, what are you doing for lunch, bud? Man, those don't sound really good. Dude, they don't sound very good, do they?
No, they sound horrible.
Okay. Let's see if those things go for. Do you know what quick trip's here for?
Yes. They said it won't shift out of second gear or go above 40 miles an hour.
Okay. I don't know if there's a fault in it. Okay. You ready to take a lunch?
Yes. I gotta add one thing to that FJ ticket, and then I'll head on the left.
Okay, what are we doing to that?
Checking out that steering wheel shaking.
Well, just tell them to take a look at the needle bearing.
Okay.
Can you get it from Toyota? Call Justin, see if you can get it. What's the bushing? They replaced with the needle bearing, I think.
I'm gonna ask him.
Okay.
It's called a clamshell bushing.
Yeah, something weird.